She smiled at you, and you fell for the illusion. You thought that if you just tried hard enough, she would stay. You thought effort equaled love. You were wrong, and deep down, a part of you knew it, but you chased her anyway. You chased her until you forgot who you were, until the person in the mirror was a ghost of the man you used to be. And the worst part? She never asked you to. It always starts small, a smile, a glance, a conversation that made your heart feel like it mattered. She gives you a spark, and your mind turns it into fire. Suddenly, you're the one reaching out first, texting good morning, sending memes, dropping compliments. You make space for her in your day. You rearrange your schedule, your priorities, your mind. Slowly, piece by piece, you place her on a pedestal, and she's watching, not judging, not necessarily manipulating, just observing. And what she sees is a man losing his balance. You think chasing is love, that being persistent is noble, but there's a fine line between pursuing and performing. When you chase, you're no longer choosing, you're begging. Every message you send without a reply, every time you double text, every time you show up when she doesn't ask, you're sending one message: I am not enough as I am. Chasing turns your love into noise. It overwhelms, it suffocates, it cheapens the very thing you wanted to make sacred. You become the man who's always there, always available, always reaching, and no one values what they think will never leave. Let's talk about the brain, the one organ that never stops calculating. We are wired to desire what feels just out of reach, to value what isn't handed to us easily, to wonder about what we don't fully understand. But when you chase, you give everything away. You remove all mystery. You kill the tension and attraction without tension. It dies. She doesn't have to ask herself where she stands. She doesn't wonder what you're thinking. She doesn't feel the pull because you've already thrown yourself into her gravity. She knows you'll answer. She knows you'll show up. She knows you're there. And so she looks away. Then comes the shift. Maybe it's subtle, maybe it's violent, but you notice it. She stops replying as fast. Her tone changes. Her attention drifts. And suddenly, you're chasing a shadow, a memory of how it used to feel. So you try harder. You text more. You check her story. You imagine scenarios. You break your own rules just to get a glimpse of her world again. But it never works, because the more you chase, the faster she fades. Then one day, something cracks. Maybe you hit rock bottom, maybe you get tired, or maybe you just wake up and you stop. You stop texting first. You stop explaining yourself. You stop orbiting around someone who can't see your light. And in the silence that follows, something happens. She notices. She wonders. She asks herself why the attention disappeared. Because now there's a void. And in that void, your value grows. Not because you're playing a game, but because you've finally remembered who the fuck you are. You are not here to beg. You are not here to be picked. You are not here to earn love by erasing yourself. This is where it all changes. You shift your focus from her to you. The gym, the business, the grind, the solitude. You pour into your mind, into your body, into your soul. You become the man who doesn't chase because he doesn't need to. The man who walks into a room and doesn't ask to be seen because his presence speaks louder than any introduction ever could. That's when she comes back. That's when they come back. But by then, you're not chasing love anymore. You're building a life that love would be lucky to enter. You don't chase, you attract. So let them wonder. Let them sit with your silence. Let them feel your absence. Because the version of you that chases, he dies here, and from the ashes, something colder rises. Not bitter, not angry, just done. Done proving, done pleasing, done chasing. You are not a runner in someone else's race. You are the finish line. And the right ones, they'll know how to meet you there. In stride, in silence, in power.